Ho, ho, ho! Ha! Listen, we're talking about St. Nicholas today on Testicular Fortitude on the Manlihood ManCast.
This is Testicular Fortitude on the Manlihood ManCast.
Are you ready to live life to the full? Are you ready to rise up and live a life of honor? Are you ready to boldly step into a life of courage? This is the Manlihood ManCast, and here's your host, Josh Hatcher.
Ever needed to circumcise a gnat, but your Walmart knife from 13 years ago just isn't cutting it? Pun intended. Well, Haines Knives is here to fix that. Travis Haines is a bladesmith that offers custom handcrafted knives, anything from personal everyday carries to kitchen knives. Find your new favorite knife at hainesknives.com/mancast or follow Travis over on social media at BirdForge and let him know we sent you. That's HAINES knives.com/mancast. And again, over at BirdForge on social media. Gentlemen, welcome to the Manlihood ManCast. I'm your host, Josh Hatcher, and you guys know that Testicular Fortitude is where we give a historical portrait of a man with balls. And today we're going to be talking about St. Nicholas, because it's Christmas time. But before we do that, I want to share something with you guys. You guys know that Testicular Fortitude is brought to you by Haines Knives, who you can follow at HAINES knives.com. And Travis has made some amazing knives. I've got one of his 8-inch chef knives called the Pelican, made with a spalted pecan handle, and it is gorgeous. He forged it for me. And we've also got something that he's forged for you. And this is a giveaway that's coming soon. It has not been announced yet. It will be coming soon. And I want you to stay tuned and watch for it. We're going to be running this giveaway for a few months to give you a chance to participate. But I want to give you a sneak preview. This is a knife that he made. It's called the Black Pearl. It's got a Kydex sleeve. It's an everyday carry knife. And we're giving it to you. This is worth $250 because he forged it just for you. This handle is gorgeous. It's got like a carbon fiber scale on it. And then check out that knife. Tell me that isn't gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it, but in the room, there is like this sheen, this color that kind of comes off of it when it hits the light. It is gorgeous. It feels great in your hand. We're going to be giving this $250 everyday carry knife, hand forged just for you, away later in 2023. So I want you to stay tuned because we're going to announce it. This is a phenomenal prize. This is probably one of the best prizes we've ever given away and that we ever will. And I'm really excited to be able to put it in your hands. I shouldn't say that we ever will. I think we'll be doing even more great stuff. We've got another contest that is out now, and we've got it's our Valentine's Day contest. So if you go to manlihood.com/contests, and we've got some amazing gifts that you can give your significant other, that you can give your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, some amazing handmade jewelry. And we're also going to stick in there a Visa gift card for you to be able to take your Valentine out for dinner. So if you want to enter that, go to manlihood.com/contests. Also, don't forget, guys, we have an opportunity now that this is really the time to sign up for this. Everybody's thinking about how am I going to make my life better in the new year? I want 2023 to be the best year of my life. That happens when you set goals. And I'm going to take a group of guys through Change Your Life in a Year. There's a book and a workbook. You can get these both on Amazon. It'll cost you about $30. Now, that's a great investment that'll change the rest of your life. But if you want some coaching to go deeper into it, to have somebody help hold you accountable to those goals you set, to help you make the goals in the first place, please message me because I'd love to take you through this. We're going to change the world, and it's going to start by changing your life, and it's going to take us about a year to do it. So make sure that you reach out to me. Send me an email, mail@joshhatcher.com. Shoot me a message on our Facebook page, wherever. Just let me know, hey, I'm in. I'm ready to do this. I'm sick of the way my life has been going, and I want to make some changes. I know that I need to lose weight. I need to write a book. I need to start a podcast, or whatever it is that you want to do. I want to make my family better. And I know that to do that, I have to break it down into goals. I can help you do that. I've done it. I did this. I wrote this book because I did it first. I need to do it again, if I'm honest with you. I've got some struggles I need to get back under control. And what a better way to do it than to do it with a group of guys who are committed to seeing you succeed. So get in touch with me if you want to be a part of that. Gentlemen, today's episode is our Testicular Fortitude portrait of a man with balls, and today we're going to feature St. Nicholas. Yes, you may know him as Santa Claus. We've talked before about the powerful masculinity of Santa Claus, and we wanted to call back to some of those stories for our Testicular Fortitude series. We know Santa Claus as a chubby, white-haired man that wears red clothing and gives gifts to our children, but much of that modern image was created by 19th century poets and the Coca Cola Company. The truth is, he was a man with balls. Many different groups have adopted St. Nicholas as the patron saint of their causes. Children, sailors, the falsely accused, merchants, archers, brewers, Russia, broadcasters, and students. And the reason behind that is usually because of a story from his life. St. Nicholas was born in 270 AD in Turkey among the Greeks that lived there. His parents were wealthy and they died in a plague when he was young. He was raised as a Christian by his uncle Nicholas and became a priest. At that time, Christians could often make a dangerous pilgrimage to Jerusalem to visit the holy city where Jesus lived and died. In 312 AD, he started his journey. During that time, he briefly settled in a cave with a group of monks. As bandits and thieves started attacking the surrounding settlement of mostly pilgrims, Nicholas took the women and children into his cave to protect them against the raiders. When he returned to Turkey, he was named as the bishop in the town of Myra. Christianity was widespread, but it was still under assault from the Roman Empire. You remember the tales of the Christians in the arenas being eaten by lions. Much of that happened under the persecution of the Roman Emperor Diocletian. The emperor's disdain for Christians is what got Nicholas tossed in prison. He was kept in solitary and suffered many beatings for refusing to recant his belief in Jesus. In 2005, St. Nicholas's body was exhumed and forensically analyzed. There was ample evidence of broken bones and a broken nose. This lends scientific credence to the story that he was beaten for his faith. When Constantine converted to Christianity and established it as the official religion of the Roman Empire in 320 AD, they let Nicholas out of jail, and he attended the Council of Nicaea in 325. Essentially, the church confirmed the doctrines of the early church at that time, and Nicholas would have had a lot of input in the matter. It was then that Arius presented his heretical view of Jesus, not as God, but as a mortal man. Arius was leading people astray with the truth that the church accepted and condemning the teaching that Christians worldwide had been giving their lives for. Nick was having none of it, and in front of everyone, he walked up and slapped him across the face like he was Chris Rock at the Oscars. The other bishops were pissed. They took his bishop robes and his book of scriptures and threw Nick in jail. But in the morning, when the jailer came in to check on him, his shackles had been loosened and he was fully dressed in his bishop robes and had his book back. No one could explain how, and so it has been credited as a miracle. There are many other miraculous and almost unbelievable stories that have been recorded about St. Nicholas. One legend shows Nicholas not only catching a serial killer, but bringing the victims back to life. 3 children were captured by a butcher who chopped up their bodies and put them in a pickling brine, where they stayed for years. When Nicholas came to town, he was prompted with knowledge from God to demand that the butcher open up the barrel, exposing his crime. And then Nicholas commanded that the dead children come back to life. Another time, while sailing, the ship came under assault by violent storms. The crew and the passengers were despairing and preparing to die. Nicholas said, "All you have to do is call out to God to save you." And as they prayed, he commanded the storm to cease, and it did. Whether these miraculous stories are true, I can't say for sure, but I'm a believer in such miracles. Even if they are only legends, there's something about the story of a man willing to speak with the kind of authority that could raise dead children and silence a storming sea. Our contemporary Santa is known for giving gifts and stockings to children, but this story comes from a very powerful story about St. Nick. There was a poor man with 3 daughters. He could not afford a dowry in order to pay for them to be married. In those days, no husband would even take a wife without a dowry. If a young girl didn't have such a financial cushion, she may be sold into slavery or forced to enter the sex trade. St. Nicholas had compassion on the girls and tossed some gold coins into the window, which landed in a pair of stockings that hung by the fire to dry. His courage, his commitment, his authority, and his kindness are why St. Nicholas is featured today for his testicular fortitude. Have you ever needed to circumcise a gnat, but your Walmart knife from 13 years ago just isn't cutting it? Pun intended. Well, Haines Knives is here to fix that. Travis Haines is a bladesmith that offers custom handcrafted knives, anything from personal everyday carries to kitchen knives. Find your new favorite knife at hainesknives.com/mancast or follow Travis over on social media at BirdForge and let him know we sent you. That's HAINES knives.com/mancast. And again, over at BirdForge on social media.
If you want to be a better man, check out our website, manlihood.com, for blogs, videos, and more from our Manlihood team. And you can also join our private Facebook group, Manlihood Man Cave, where you can meet up with a band of brothers who will challenge you and help you on your journey of manhood. This episode is produced by Hatcher Media for manlihood.com. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to the show. Tune in again for more of the Manlihood ManCast.